Over the past year, I have started to do what is called house hacking, and it has totally changed my finance. So today, let me explain how you can do the exact same strategy in 2025 in Canada to finally become a homeowner. It is no secret for anyone that homeownership in Canada over the past couple of years has become extremely unaffordable, especially for young Canadians. Indeed, over the past 2 decades, we've seen the gap between the disposable income of Canadians and the housing price massively increase. In some of the biggest cities in the country, such as Toronto, Vancouver, and Victoria, we've notably seen that the mortgage payments represent now over 70% of the total household income, where the price-to-income ratio has surpassed over 11 for all of these countries. It means that to be able to afford a house in all of these cities, you'll have to pay about 11 times the average annual income for your family. It is truly extreme, especially when we compare what it used to be 20 years ago and what it is currently in the US, where the gap is way smaller. This unfortunate problem has been created by a massive housing shortage that has been heightened since the pandemic. Indeed, over the past 5 years, we've seen that the price of real estate has been skyrocketing to new heights pretty much every single year. The problem with this housing shortage is that we don't have any new constructions that are being built every single year compared to the new people that are coming on our territory. To be able to restore affordability, Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation has said that we would need to build an additional 3.5 million affordable housing units before 2030. Per year, this would represent an additional 700,000 new constructions that would need to be added to the current pace of construction that are being built in Canada. For instance, in 2024, the CMHC has reported an annual pace of annual construction of 245,000 for the year, up only 2% compared to the construction of 2023. So it will be pretty much impossible to reach this new pace of construction except if we are making big changes to our immigration policies. But now, on your side, how exactly are you supposed to buy your first house with all of these conditions? Well, one of the best ways, in my personal opinion, would be to do what is called some house hacking. House hacking is simple. It is the practice of generating some income from your home. Usually it will be done by purchasing a multifamily property where you'll basically live in one unit and you'll rent out all of the other units so that your tenants are paying the majority or all your mortgage payments and other expenses. So basically, all of the rent that you will collect every single month will help you to pay all of the different fees and expenses related to your property. It is also important to note that there is another way to do some house hacking, but with a single family, where you'll be basically renting all of the different single rooms that you won't be using. But for privacy purposes, I would personally prefer to go either for a duplex, a triplex, or a quadruplex to start, even if it will cost you slightly more upfront to buy these types of properties. The big pros of it is that compared to buying a single house family, you'll be able to keep way more privacy. It is basically what I've did with the triplex that I've bought at the end of 2023 and where I've decided to move in one of the units in July of 2024. And the great thing about it is that I've purchased this property for about $550,000 in 2023 and that it is now worth close to $700,000 with all the optimization that I have done. This optimization obviously came in the form of increasing the rent of certain of my tenants because I've made different improvements to their units, but also by the fact that I've decided to make some extra payments on my property to be able to build more equity, eventually to be able to buy another property over the next couple of months. And so the great thing about it is that this summer, with the payments penalty that I've paid to reduce the interest rate that I was paying, which was about 6.29%, and that is now less than 4%, I am actually able to live for free in this property by basically also being able to cash flow about $200 per month of profit. So it has been a very successful strategy for me personally, and it can be the same for you if you incorporate it, especially if you are young. We often believe that the classical path to success is to basically get a girlfriend, then marry her, after buy your first house and make some kids, and then if you have some money left, you can save it and invest it. The problem with it is that if you are doing this path, you're borrowing power will be highly affected if you decide to buy the house first. This means that you'll basically have a mortgage to pay and different other fees to pay related to your house, but also related to your family that might be growing. And at the same time, it will highly affect your savings capacities. On the upper end, if you decide to go for the house hacking solution before to buy your first house, it will make that your tenants will greatly help you to pay out of your different fees or a big portion of them compared to what you would be doing alone if not. So it will not only help you to build a lot of equity on your property, but it will also help you to save more money that could eventually be reinvested, for example, in the stock market or in the crypto market or for different other projects. And usually the great thing about buying, for example, a duplex, a triplex, or a quadruplex is the fact that it will be way easier for you to get a loan on this type of property, because usually the bank won't only recognize what are your own revenue, but also what is the revenue generated by the property itself. On paper, it looks like a no-brainer, but in reality, there are certain cons that could affect your decision to go with this type of strategy. The main one obviously is the fact that you would have way less freedom compared to what you would have if you decided to go and buy a house first. By living with other people in your house, it means that you need to reduce the part of your home that you can live in, and at the same time you'll need to cohabit and get along with your tenants. It is why it might be a quite complex strategy to incorporate to your own investing strategy, especially if you currently have a big family. The other big con of it is that even if you can harvest the big pros of being a landlord, meaning that obviously you'll recoup and you'll get a lot of money from the rent of your tenants, well, you will also have duties that comes from it. It means that if your tenants, which are also your neighbors, have certain problems, they might come and see you, and it will be your own responsibility to help them with the different problems that they might be facing. It is why it will be crucial for you to make a good check and a good research on your tenants to make sure to have great quality tenants, as I personally have at the moment. But I do personally believe that the pros outweigh all of the cons of this type of strategy that could be pretty optimal, especially for young Canadians that are looking to buy their first property. And so on your side, if you're looking to find how I've been able to do it step by step at the end of 2023 at the age of 24 to buy my first triplex, well, check out the video that's gonna be right over here, and I will see you soon. Peace.